Greetings from Bermuda, this is Luck-Be-A-Landlord and welcome to the demo of Dog and Goblin, a Luck-Be-A-Landlord-style deck building auto battler. Let's jump in, check it out, see what it's like. So the game has multiple different modes. We can be Commander, Cleric, Recruiter, and this all affects our special ability, which you'll see when we get going. There are various difficulty levels. We are going to just play it on difficulty 1. And a bunch of different modes as well. We're just going to play in classic mode to begin with. So, how do we play? So, it is like Luck-Be-A-Landlord in that we have a deck of cards, tiles, that will be automatically placed on this battlefield for us at random at the beginning of every turn. This is the enemy's castle over here. This is how many hit points it has. This is the armor it has. And to win the game, we have to destroy the enemy's castle. At the beginning of each turn, the enemy will also spawn in a number of units on its side of the field. And if we attack and destroy those units, they will be removed. If we don't, they will stay on the battlefield for the next turn. And if when we're attacking there is no unit in front of us to attack, then we will attack the castle instead. So we start with just a goblin and a dog in our deck. So for both of the cards, you can see the number in the red diamond above them is the attack damage that they will do. In the top right corner of the card is an indication of the type. So this is a creature and a beast. And then description at the bottom here of what it does. So every adjacent biped and dog itself will gain 1 attack damage at the start of the turn. The goblin is a biped with 2 attack damage. Its special ability is that it removes adjacent silver if there is any. And then it will turn into a goblin merchant with 3 attack damage and an ability on a timer, which will add refresh coins to our collection, which will let us refresh the set of options that we are given at the end of each turn. But you'll see that when we get going. So the particular mode that we picked, the commander mode, that lets us move 2 cards to an empty space, and they will gain 1 temporary damage when we move them. So for example, we could move the goblin to here, and its damage is increased from 2 to 3. And we could move the dog from here to here. Its damage is increased from 2 to 3. And then once we've done that, that will trigger our turn. And if I hide this for a moment, you can see that we attack the castle for 4 damage. The castle has 4 armor, so armor reduces the damage that we do, but the minimum damage that can be done is 1. So we reduced its hit points from 200 to 199, and our dog killed the enemy unit there. Over here on the left side of the screen, you can see the enemies that will spawn in the next wave. So it'll just be 2 archers again, and again randomly placed on here. And over here on the right hand side is showing us the damage that our units are doing, so we can assess which are the good ones and which are not. At the end of every turn, we will be offered a choice of 3 cards. And we can pick one of these to add to our deck. There are also at the bottom options here to delete cards from our deck. We have a limited number of deletes. We can gain more as we go through the game. We have a number of refreshes, what I was talking about earlier. So if we don't like the options here, we can refresh this up to twice. But again, this is a limited resource throughout the game. Or we can just skip. We don't have to add anything to our deck. So what have we got? We've got raw meat. It is a consumable and a food item. Adjacent beasts and zombies will gain the attack damage of the raw meat, which is 4. But the raw meat itself will not attack. And consumable 8 means it can be used 8 times before it will disappear from our deck. Mushroom, consumable 6. Adjacent bipeds gain attack damage of the mushroom, which is -1. And poison 3. I think that means they will gain the ability to inflict poison on the enemies, I think. Or an imp. On turn start, if the deck has greater than 6 cards of imp, sacrifice the excess. So this just does 2 damage. It counts as a biped, a fighter, and a demon. And other cards can interact with this as well. So there are demon cards that consume imps to increase their damage. For now, let's just go with the raw meat and let's start the next turn. So cards are shuffled. Once again, they are dealt out randomly into random positions on the battlefield. But because of our commander ability, we can move 2 of them. So adjacent beasts gain the attack damage. The dog is a beast, so we probably want to move this to be next to that, which I will do there. So the dog is going to get 5 attack damage added to it, so this will be 7. I'm going to move the goblin so it's next to the dog, so it benefits from the dog's attack boost. And then you saw there, those 2 attacked the castle because it was in an empty row. But these 2 archers, which we did not do any damage to, are going to stay on the battlefield for the next turn. Okay, we pick a card again, so choice of another dog, a wood spirit, poison 2, so poison enemy will take damage at the end of every turn, and the damage is reduced by 1 every turn until it gets to 0. It ignores armor, which some enemies will have later on, which is good. Or another goblin. Let's take another goblin and begin. We can get the dog between the 2 goblins. Yeah, in fact, if we just move that there. Although by not moving something, we're losing the attack boost. So actually, let's move you there, and then everybody gets boosted to the maximum degree possible. And we get to pick a card again. So I'm kind of feeling like we need more units that are attacking, rather than things like the Iron Sword, which is a kind of supporting thing that doesn't attack in its own right. So zombie after 3 turns will turn into a bones that basically does nothing. Small golem would remove another small golem that was adjacent to it, and stones, and it would turn into a medium golem. Why don't we try that? So what do we want to move here? Why don't we... You're getting the benefit of the meat, which is good. Adjacent... Sometimes adjacent means orthogonally adjacent. Sometimes it seems to mean diagonally adjacent as well. The dog is not going to buff the golem because the golem is not a biped. It is a creature and a spirit. So I don't know. We do want to try and... I feel like we want to try and take down as many of these. Let's move that over there. Let's move you there. So we've got something attacking in all 3 of these columns. Bread, consumable, could be used 15 times. Adjacent bipeds gain the attack damage of bread, which would be 3. Goblin Thrower, when the attack target or this card is on the back row, attack damage is doubled. Removes adjacent stones, dealing 12 damage. Or a Banshee removes adjacent bones, adds a zombie, removes adjacent wood spirits, and they turn into Dark Willow. Goblin Thrower seems to fit with what we've got. One thing I haven't mentioned is how we lose the game. So if at the end of our turn the enemy field is still full of enemies, we will lose one of these hearts down in the bottom left corner here. If we run out of hearts, we lose the game. Okay, have they all spawned in the... Oh no, sorry, I clicked start turn. I'm going to say this. They spawned in the same place as last time. Okay, what's the best place to move stuff? Well, if we move the dog next to the food, I'm going to move him there. Let's do some damage to this. Okay, he did boost this goblin, so that is diagonally adjacent. Fire Spirit, magic splash attack for 1, removes adjacent stones, turns them into crimson embers. Iron. Okay, so we know our goblins will remove, not the goblin thrower, but the regular goblins will remove adjacent iron. Actually, no, that is silver, not iron, that they will remove. Re-roll me. Something else. Energy crystal, an imp, a mushroom. Reroll me again. Stone. We had something that could do something with a stone, right? The small golem will remove adjacent stones and then it will turn into a medium golem. So let's take that and go. Begin next turn. So we want to move probably that there. And we want to move, let's say, the dog adjacent to these two, so it boosts both of them. So there you go, that became a medium golem. And periodically, so after wave 6, we'll get refresh coins and delete coins. So that's boosted this here. Sorcerer, random hit at most 2 enemies with arcane orbs, dealing attack damage, ignoring armor. That's ignoring armor's going to become important. Oh, we got a bomb. Timer 5, so after 5 turns on the board, all enemies will take 4 damage. It will remove adjacent fire spirits and turn into a tar element, but it doesn't attack in its own right. Scavenger removes adjacent bones and adds a delete coin. So the unit that we were offered earlier that turned into a bones after, what was it, 3 turns or something, the scavenger would be a way to then get rid of that bones from our deck and give us a delete coin in its place instead. I am gonna take a bomb. So this is gonna do basically nothing this turn. Let's move you next to the dog. Let's move you next to the dog. Another small golem. Do we build up an army of golems? Medium golem will remove adjacent medium golems and turn into a big golem. Big golems remove... actually can't do that recursively. We'll remove adjacent big golems and turn into an even bigger golem, I guess. Let's go with that. And now we get offered a challenge. So this is optional. So we could take one of these. So this one, and they will all give us something, but they will also give the enemy something as well. So Archer Squad would let us add 2 dogs to our deck, but the enemy will add 6 archers. Sabres will let us pick from one of these. Landlord's son, I feel, must be a nod to Luck-Be-A-Landlord. Scavenger or a Goblin or Shadow Magic, Grunt, Shaman or Bounty Hunter, but the enemy adds a Shaman. Let's do it because, let's say we can skip it. I'll take Shadow Magic. I'll give us some more units. All right. What are we going to do here? Actually going to need another golem before that becomes useful. You have 8 health and 2 shield, which is kind of a lot. Let's move the dog there. Actually, maybe I should have moved. Let's move you there. And then we'll be able to get rid of that shield guardian with a combination of attacks here. Hunter, after attack, adjacent beasts also attack. I think the background of the tiles here is the rarity as well, so I think a Hunter is a rarer card than the Goblin and the Ice Spirit, which both have great backgrounds. What do we have in the way of beasts, though? Do we just have the dog? I think we do at the moment. We were kind of going for the golems. Remove adjacent stones, turn them into an azure shard. Every linked shard gains 1 damage. Golems can be linked but has no effect on damage. Adjacent cards gain attack damage of azure shard. It seems like that might boost. No, we've got to connect it to a stone first. It does have freeze as well. Let's take it. Freeze reduces enemy armor. I think that's right. Okay, so the grunt we want to get a wolf for, and then that will turn it into a wolf raider. So this game's pretty, it's got quite a big learning curve as you're kind of learning all of the different units and what they do. We've now got a shaman, so warriors in the same row gain permanent attack damage as much as half of the shaman's attack damage. What do we have in the way of warriors, though? The grunt is a warrior. The bounty hunter is a warrior. So why don't we move these up so they're in the same row? Did they get a boost? Maybe. Dwarf miner, timer of 3, pick one of those. Every 3 attack damage, pick 1 card up to 2 max. Yeah, it seems like that could be good for our golems that we were trying to go for. So, okay, there we go. That's triggering it. Oh, okay, so the bounty hunter got a kill, so that was the card that we were picking there. Do we want to raw meat? Reroll. Chariot. Adjacent bipeds gain attack damage of the chariot. And if there's another chariot adjacent, a bomb adjacent, or a lance adjacent, it will turn it into something better. Did our bomb go off? Our bomb is still there. It would turn the bomb into a destroyer. Adjacent bipeds gain the attack damage of the destroyer. Randomly release a cannon that does splash damage of destroyer. Let's take the chariot then and try and get it next to the bomb. And that's the good thing about playing Commander mode, is that because we've got some ability to move stuff around, the other modes give you different benefits, but not movement. So in those cases, you are dependent upon where these things appear. So that's the chariot. It is next to the bomb already, so that's good. I don't need to move it. Again, we probably want to get warriors in the same row. Goblin throw on the back row actually is good. You're a warrior as well. Do we have another warrior? All the warriors are... Oh no, Grunt is a warrior. So let's move you on the back row. And then we will boost you with the shaman as well. And... I don't know, what else do we want to move? The Ice Spirit does attack, I guess. I don't think it particularly matters. Well, adjacent bipeds, actually. Hang on. Let's move a biped next to that. A biped that's not a warrior, preferably one that's not getting boosted by the dog already. The dog only boosts it by 1, the chariot will boost it by 2. So let's move that over there. So there we go, now we've got our destroyer. Does its thing. So yeah, adjacent bipeds gain the attack damage of the destroyer. Randomly release a cannon that does splash damage of the destroyer. Okay. Boar, Iron, Landlord's Son. Don't love any of them. Let's give me a refresh. Gold. On timer of 5, remove this card, pick an epic card. Adjacent goblins remove gold and turn into alchemists. Adjacent dragons remove gold, gain 5 permanent attack damage and add a dragon egg. Not super useful at the moment. Canned salt, adjacent food gains the attack damage of canned salt, which is 6. Do we have any food left? We do. Sure. Okay, so salt needs to go next to the raw meat. The raw meat needs to go next to the dog. So I guess we do something like that. But that triggered before the salt was added to it. I think things get resolved from left to right, front row to back row. We could take lance. Adjacent fighters gain pierce, so overkill damage will apply to the enemies behind it. And attack damage of the lance. Seems reasonable. Getting it down, 168. We could take another grunt. That's another fighter. Let's do that. Okay. So the yellow number in the bottom left corner is the timer, I believe, and I think that's counting down. So I think our dwarf miner should trigger at the end of this turn, maybe. The salt is a permanent buff to the food. That only buffs the dog. Where is the shaman? There he is. Let's put the shaman. God, I don't know. We want that adjacent to warriors. It's only adjacent to one there, but we've only got 2 moves, so it's a little tricky. Let's just move you there. And I'm going to leave that there so that benefits from the lance. Dog. Let's move that grunt, actually. Let's move you there. And then you'll benefit from... you will benefit from the shaman as well. Okay. Silver would give us an upgrade on any goblins that were next to it. So we should probably take that. Food is up to 17 now. Dog is to 23, which is fantastic. And that's going to go straight through onto the castle. Down to 137. Okay, 2 more refresh coins and a delete coin. Landlord's Son, Emerald Essence. Adjacent cards gain the attack damage of Emerald Essence. Okay. So it looks like we have to have 2 of these probably adjacent to each other. Is that how I'm reading this? So I'm not sure I want to do that. Hammer. Consumable adjacent engineers and fighters gain the attack damage of hammer. Adjacent goblins remove the hammer and turn into technical apprentices. Who are able to buff machines. That could be useful. We'll take that. So that's the hammer. It is not currently next to any... Oh, I think it's adjacent to that goblin. Has the food all been used up? I think the food's all been used up. We could probably do with the lance here, so it's next to all 3 of these. So let's move this over there and move the lance in the middle there. And then the lance is going to buff all 3 of these things around it. And it gives it pierce, so we should get multiple of these. Yes, so we got both of them there. Normally, we would have just killed the first one that we hit, and over damage doesn't do anything. A bear. On kill, pick a raw meat. Adjacent beasts gain 1 attack damage. Sure. Because we still have the salt that could help with the meat. I've not been looking at the details of what the different enemies do. I should probably do that. Bard on turn ends. 10 random allies regen 1 health. In the next wave, we're getting Shield Guardians. On the turn ends, a random other ally gains 1 armor. So they would want to be killed quickly. So we want as many warriors adjacent to the hammer as possible. But also adjacent to the lance. We could put the lance down here. Move the ice spirit out the way to let us do that. Why can't I move the lance? There we go. So then that 17 will kill that and it will do extra damage to the castle. Challenge reward. Okay. Was that from the bear? Or from doing something else? We got the castle down to 23. We're doing pretty good. Let's take a small golem. Pick a challenge. Little Red Hood. Add a lizard, a dog, a boar, or a camel. Enemy adds 1 wolf and grandma. Whatever that is. A general. Pick whether we get a bomb, a wheel, a power core, or a foundation. Our King's Guard. We could get a Dwergar before attacking double damage on a timer of 2. A Berserker on killing gain 1 attack damage and attack again. If a kill is made this turn, gain 1 attack damage permanently. Or a Dragon Slayer. But the enemy adds 1 king and 1 general. I think I am gonna skip because the king is a unit that will, if it's not dead at the end of our turn, it will remove 1 card from our deck at random. So I think I'm gonna skip that. One thing we haven't looked at yet is deleting stuff from our deck. So we could choose, for example, now that we're starting to get some better cards in here, we could choose to get rid of the dog. Or another one that's not doing much damage. However, we're still not filling up our side of the field, so until we do, we may as well keep everything. So I think I'm just going to skip the challenge and go. And unless we're unlucky, I would hope we can finish him off this turn. What can we move? Now, if we get to the point where we have to have an empty space in order to be able to move stuff into it. So if we have enough things in our deck but our side of the field is full, then we're not going to be able to get the benefit of our commander ability, and we're just going to have to accept where things end up. So let's try and avoid that. However, hopefully this isn't going to be an issue. If I move that back there, I can move this next to the hammer over here. Challenge reward. This stage, I actually don't think we want any of them. We could take the stone or the silver. Do we still have a basic goblin in here somewhere? We do. He would remove the silver. And the small golem would remove the stone. So, sure, I'll take a stone. Just in case we don't kill the castle this go. Pick a card. I'm going to take another lance. We've got enough warriors that a lance is pretty useful. Something we're doing is remove the armor from the castle as well, and we win. Nice. That felt quite straightforward this time. Sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. My first game I got absolutely murdered. I guess because I didn't know what I was doing. But that was much more straightforward. Let's go and have a look at some of the other options. Cleric, when turn starts, pick a card to gain 2 temporary damage and attack twice. So that's instead of being able to move cards around. Recruiter, on picking a card, we add a refresh coin. On picking a card after refreshing, add 1 delete coin. On deleting cards, the shop rarity increases. Sorcerer, when turn starts, swap 2 cards to gain 1 temporary damage, or swap 2 enemies to lose 1 armor. Black Magician, when turn starts, move a card to another, sacrifice it, gain its damage temporarily, 1 delete coin, and 1 refresh coin. Why don't we go for the Cleric? So can't move, but we'll pick a card to gain 2 temporary damage and attack twice. Difficulty 2. Every 3 turns, the enemy summons a swordsman. Every 5 turns, summons a shield guard. Every 7 turns, summons a bard. Sure. That way it was there were 3 difficulty levels for commander. Okay. I guess Cleric is harder. But let's be brave. Let's do it on difficulty 2. On different modes, Deadly Spore Burst, all poison stacks +1 when applied. Add a mushroom every turn. Spirits and Minerals, all enemy armor is doubled, but we start with Grimoire and Quarry. Great Fortune, every 8 turns the enemy summons a rogue. Every 13 turns he summons a king. Enemy summoned increases consecutively. Start with 40 refresh coins of 40 delete coins. Bloodright, number of enemies is doubled. Start with Orc Chief, Shaman and Dragon Blood. Demonic Horde, enemy health is doubled. Start with Warlock and Stormgate. You know, let's just stick with the classic mode. Difficulty 2 with a Cleric. It's going to be tough enough, I think. Okay, begin. So, difficulty 2, the health of the castle is also increased, and its armor is increased as well. So unless we can do more than 5 damage, we're only going to be doing 1 damage to this. So we can't move anything, but we can pick something to do double. To increase its damage and then attack twice, so we'll do that. Why don't we try a zombie build? Because I've never tried that before. So we can't move anything again, but let's buff the Goblin. As he gets buffed again by the dog and he's attacking twice. Wheel moves adjacent wheels and turns into a chariot. Removes adjacent meat and turns into a meat wagon, which may be good for removing the skeleton things when we get them. So let me take a wheel. Okay, that's a bit more of a problem. I want the dog to attack twice, so he'll kill both of these. Okay, let's take another zombie. I guess the zombies are pretty good because they're attacking for 4, which is high. Okay, so we're going to need some meat. Let's get him to attack twice. Oh, actually, even once will kill that, but then the second one will do some damage to the castle as well. Yeah, I need meat. Perfect. Well, perfect if it ends up adjacent, because now we can't move stuff around. Yeah, I think Cleric is harder. It's harder than the Commander. Being able to move is quite important. So now we've just got this Bones that's doing nothing. Let's buff the dog. Then he will be able to kill that guy at the front at least. Oh, we can just straight up get a meat wagon. Let's do that then. Maybe having 2 meat wagons is not a bad thing. And that will, yeah, they will increase in damage as well for every one of those bones they harvest. Let's buff the meat wagon then. If I reroll, am I going to get lower rarity stuff? We've got all higher rarity stuff here. Go for it anyway. Maybe not. Red hammer. Do we have anybody who will benefit from the hammer though? No. We need meat wagon. Sorcerer. Sorcerer. Randomly hits 2 enemies with arcane orbs, dealing attack damage, ignoring armor. Or do we go twice with the meat wagon? Let's go twice with the sorcerer. Not sure that was that effective. Foundation. Don't have anything to go with it at the moment. Although that is good. If we can get a crossbow, the arrow towers are pretty amazing. As we boost their attack damage, they will shoot more and more arrows. We can pair them with other things as well. So, even though it's not useful right now, I'm going to take that. I don't want to pick a challenge. It's already hard enough. Go. I guess we are on difficulty 2 as well. Our meat wagon needs to be next to the bones. Not being able to move stuff is tough. Let's buff the meat wagon. Get him to go twice. Yeah, we are getting overwhelmed. Another wheel is what we were looking for. But I guess another meat wagon, which increases the odds of getting rid of this. But then the wheels have got to come out next to each other. And we're kind of short on things that are just attacking. So I think I'm going to take the Panda Monk. Yeah, we're in trouble here. Off the meat wagon. Bomb next to the foundation would be fine as well. So let's take that. Okay, it is adjacent. That's good. God, again. Did we? I think we just buff him. Okay, and yeah. He's attacking for 7 twice. He did get rid of one of the bones. And now we've got a cannon tower here as well. So for every 2 points of attack damage, it fires a cannonball that deals 6 splash damage. So that's nice. It's helpful. We could get a goblin thrower, but because we can't move him, we can't put him on the back row easily. So let me reroll. Reroll again. Adjacent bipeds gain the attack damage of wood stick. Adjacent fire spirits get removed and turned into campfires. None of that is particularly useful. We'll go for the miner just because he attacks. So if we add 2 to this, 6 and splash damage, that's probably worth it. Because they're all clustered up, these guys. Yep, that is definitely worth it. That's cleared a load of them out. Okay, good. Yes, another meat wagon. Well, we kind of want more zombies to feed the meat wagons. Sure. You're a pain. Heavy infantry. On the turn end, other allies on the same row gain 1 armor. Yeah, let's buff you. You're going to eat that. Attack for 7 twice. Actually, that guy's almost dead already, which is good. Night Elf Ranger attack twice. Adjacent crossbows and Night Elf Ranger herself gain 1 permanent attack damage. So what happens if we pick it at the start then? Does it attack 4 times? I guess it does. That might work well. Let's test that out. Where is the Night Elf Ranger? There. Challenge reward. I don't know, what do we want? None of the above. Oh, is it all silver, gold, or stone? This is a challenge reward. I can't remember what the challenge was. Do we still have our regular old goblin? We do, so silver then. And then that may upgrade the goblin. Okay, now are you going to go 4 times? 1, 2, 3. 3 times. Okay, sure. I could take another silver. The alchemist does attack for 5. You could also turn silver into gold, which I guess is a good thing. 5 attack damage though is worth taking, I think. Okay, that goblin is going to eat that silver. Who do we boost? Who do we boost? Why is this at 191? Have we really done so little damage, or have they been healing it? They've been healing it. Could boost the sorcerer. 4 damage, attacking twice, ignoring armor, but I'm not sure that's worth it. Let's do... oh, I don't know. Let's do the Night Elf Ranger. Okay, Bard is causing allies to regen, but I don't think the castle. Alright, some stuff we haven't seen before. So, Overfiend on turn start, both Overfiend and Demon War Leader. On turn start, if the deck has greater than 6 cards of that, sacrifice the excess. This one gives adjacent demons 1 attack damage. This one removes adjacent imps, that is, and then gains its attack damage permanently. The Overfiend can be pretty good. So I'm going to take that. Do we want to go for one of these challenges? We don't... I don't think so, no. Just Shield Guardians coming on. Oof. Now bunched up there, maybe worth buffing that. Some of them are bunched up. Okay, that has cleared a bit of a path for us. Ice Spirit, Azure Shard, and Emerald Essence. Well, those are really any good. Refresh. Necromancer, remove adjacent imps, zombies, and bones. Cause a corpse explosion on a random enemy, dealing the magic splash damage of the Necromancer. But he can't attack. And we don't have a supply of zombies and bones and imps. I mean, we could try and get one. I mean, it does tie into the wagons that we've got as well. Sure. I do wonder whether we're just best off boosting the cannon tower every time. Seems pretty effective. Do we still have an unupgraded goblin? I don't think we do. No, he turned into the goblin merchant. So we don't want another silver. The energy crystal boosts the damage of adjacent spellcasters, and I don't think we have any. No refreshes. It's a slight problem. I'm just gonna skip. Okay, that was good. So what's that? Pretty much only doing 1 damage a time on the castle. We need to up our damage a bit. Got some refreshes now. Let's try and get some more of these. I really want another meat wagon right now, though. Go on. A wolf. Didn't we have something that needed a wolf, or was that in the last run? May have been in the last run. But it's 4 attack damage. I'm going to take it. Each 25 health. Priest on turn end. 3 random allies regenerate 5 health. I'd rather you didn't. So let's buff the Panda Monk. I'll at least get rid of it. Okay, we are keeping the enemy's units down, which is good. Wheel. Do we still have a wheel? We do. Let's pick that. Although, well, it turns into a chariot. Yeah, that'd be fine. No, we could buff the Panda Monk again and just go all out on the castle. Let's do that. Refresh coins, 1 delete coin. So it's, yeah, every 6 waves we get those coins. Could take another Night Elf Ranger. Beer. Oh, the Panda Monk likes beer. So let's take it. Wait, why is the Panda Monk back down to 3? Oh, gain damage is reset after attacking the fort. Ah, yeah. Okay, I missed that. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Alright. Then... buff the Overfiend. I don't know. Do we want gold? No. Oh, but this is the challenge reward, so... skip. Foundation. If it hits the beer, we get a tavern. I guess that's supposed to be. You got an extra card choice in the shop. Remove beer, add a refresh coin. Don't love that so much. Refresh me. I want some demons that generate imps and things, but I'm not seeing any. Go on again. Raw meat. Do we have stuff that benefits from raw meat still? I'm not losing track. I mean, beasts do. What else used the raw meat? I think we got rid of it. Oh, it's gone. Hawk has Eagle Eye, targets the lowest health enemy, removes adjacent banshees and turns them into harpies. It's 7 attack damage. Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's buff the cannon tower. Grilled meat, azure shards, alchemists. I feel like we've only got... Oh, well, you're a beast actually as well. So sure, I'll take the grilled meat. $25 health, dude. I would like to get rid of you. We buff cannon tower again. What else could we do? We could take the Hawk. Have him go twice on the lowest health enemies. Cannon tower. Yeah, the cannon tower is really good. Anything upgraded by the foundation, with the possible exception of that tavern, it's pretty good. Come on, give me something better. Overfiend. If we can get some imps, the Overfiend will be good. Nothing there would give us imps. Necromancer. Again, another foundation. We've got to pick though. We've got to get all of those. No, skip. The enemy's forces are building up quite a bit. But that means they're all clustered together, so cannon tower is going to be more useful anyway. I'm going to skip that. Just don't think I want the girls sitting around for 5 turns doing nothing. Even though we've got 2 spaces free, we can get something better in those slots. Okay, now they're all spread out, unfortunately, so the cannon tower's benefit is less and not so good against the guy with a lot of armor and who's increasing armor every time we hit him. Stormgate, for every 5 attack damage of Stormgate, adjacent spellcasters add 1 card. We don't really have spellcasters, so that's not really any good. Still don't think we've got any fighters, do we? Oh, the Panda Monk's a fighter, yeah. Night Elf Ranger's a fighter as well. They're the only 2. I think they may be the... Oh no, the Overfiend is a fighter as well. Okay. Then, sure. Take Iron Sword. And this is going early, so let's upgrade that again. That will hopefully clear out most of this, so when these guys back attack, they're going to be hitting the castle. Or more likely to. $91, $81, $80. Okay, crossbow. I like the crossbow. We're going to take a crossbow. And now if I can get another foundation. A crossbow and chariot synergize. Do they? Do they? It seemed to imply that it did, and it's got this line between them, kind of like backpack battles. I don't think they synergize. Maybe that's a new thing? I'm not quite sure what the deal is there. Something is going on with those two. Let's go... who do we want to double? Somebody in one of these rows, probably. You are not a warrior, so the sword isn't going to buff you. I mean, we could buff the crossbow. It's only actually going to get... only 2 arrows are going to get fired from it. It's actually in kind of a bad position. Yeah. Then I'm just going to do Cannon Tower again. I know they're not particularly bunched up this time, but... so yeah, the crossbow, or every biped it's adjacent to, it releases 2 arrows, randomly hitting enemies except the fort. And if we can upgrade that with a foundation, that would be really good. Night Elf Ranger is another fighter, so is the Orc Chef. Remove adjacent goblins, but we don't have any Void Walker on turn start. If the deck has greater than 6 cards of Void Walker, sacrifice the excess. Pick a card, the rarity depends on the number of empty spaces on both fields. And we get to add it. I think the Void Walker may be a way to add the imps in that we were looking for, so I'm going to take that. Oh, crossbow 1 of 2 and chariot, it said. So we need another crossbow. I mean, sure. These are fairly bunched up, but this is also fairly late. Well, it's halfway through the turn order, pretty much. So some of these things are going to be dead already by the time we get to it. Let's do it anyway. Void Walker. Okay, you are giving me a card, but you're not giving me the cards that I thought you were going to give me. Oh, the meat wagon thing hasn't worked out very well. If I refresh this, what do I get a choice of? Okay, so I did get a choice of other stuff. Demon War Leader. Adjacent demons gain 1 attack damage. I do have quite a few of them. Sure, I'll take one of them. Yeah, currently our cannon is done the most damage, not surprisingly, I guess, given the number of times we've buffed it. The enemy castle is down to 66, which is not bad. Do we want to be deleting stuff? Probably soon. Warlock. Every turn add a demon depending on attack damage. That works for me. Okay, so this guy, Shaman, on spawning, he links 3 other allies, letting them split damage between them. Berserker, when damaged, gain 1 armor. So we want to hit him as hard as possible. So I guess there's 3 of them. I guess we'll buff the Overfiend. She didn't even kill. Ugh. 8. It's increasing the armor on these things is a little bit rough. Grimwife adjacent to a spellcaster, pick one of those. Give me something else. Hammer. In the attack damage of hammer zombie. I don't know whether we actually should still be picking the zombies at this stage in the game or not, to be honest. But we've got the meat wagons, so that was my thinking. The cannon, let's buff you, although again you're on the back row, so you're attacking late. I wouldn't mind another panda monk. That'd be pretty good. I don't want any of them. Actually, maybe I should have buffed the sorcerer, as his attacks go through armor. Like I say, everything does a minimum of 1 damage regardless of whether it gets through the armor or not, so... but yeah, we struggled a bit there. Maybe time to remove stuff from the deck. Should we remove our dogs? Maybe... We've probably got a bunch of stuff that's not doing too much damage. Is this number... I'm trying to work out what the number in green above this here is. It seems to be implying this is doing... Is that because of the damage increase that it's got, but then the dog doesn't get a damage increase? Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. Let's get rid of... I don't... Well, we've got quite a lot of bipeds though as well, don't we? Warlock is a biped, the panda monk is, the imp is... Well, they're only getting buffed by 1. Now let's get rid of the dog. We had 1 dog. Okay. Don't want another hawk. Attacks for 7, it's not bad. Nah, refresh. Sand King. Poison 6 on any enemy death triggers magic damage explosion, dealing damage to adjacent enemies equal to the poison count. Here's a epic thing. Sure, let's take it. Poison goes through armor as well, so that may be helpful. Who are we buffing here? The cannon tower or the... Where is the wizard guy? We didn't draw him, this go. In that case, sure, cannon tower. Void Walker is summoning... I can take a lance. Okay, Cannon doing a good job getting rid of some of those guys with the armor. Our crossbow's doing a fair bit of firing, which is good. I could get another demon war leader. Do we want another demon war leader? I'm not sure. Sure that we do. Refresh. Refresh again. Refresh again. Skip. Maybe I should have looked at those challenges, actually. Maybe some of them would be useful. We do seem to want another crossbow, though. Let me get rid of these. You're again a berserker. Well, we could buff the miner. Is that really going to be better than buffing something like the cannon tower? I guess maybe it just means he's going to get less armor. Little Red Hood, when dead, adds 2 mushrooms. Okay. Not sure what that green number 6 there means. Crossbow. Shop doesn't improve rarity anymore. Okay. But the castle is down to 16 health, so fingers crossed. We have 2 crossbows and a chariot, and it turns into a ballista, a legendary item. Okay. So that is a kind of secret recipe. If adjacent to a human, hits 3 enemies and the fort, ignores armor when targeting the fort. And it is adjacent to a bunch of them, so that is going to be really good, I think. We could boost its damage. But I'm still going to say it's worth boosting that instead. Zombie, sure. Maybe I should have done him twice and then that would have killed that guy there. But the cannon is going fairly early. We've cleared a path through on this row now. The ballista is going to go absolutely nuts. Okay. Would have gone more nuts if it had been surrounded, but it was good enough. Minus 34. We win. Difficulty 2 with a cleric. Yeah, harder than the previous game. But we got through. Alright, well there you have it. That is Dog and Goblin, the demo thereof. It is currently available on Steam. The full game is going to be available later this year, possibly in June. I'm not exactly sure. But if you're interested, wishlist it. And then you will know when it does come out. But for now, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speedy Lime is signing out. Bye for now.